Hey everyone, just a quick note about this episode. This was actually started as the intermission for our Donut County episode that we recorded on the same day as a Nintendo Direct. What ended up happening is we talked for an hour about the Nintendo Direct, and it just became a Between the Games. So enjoy this episode of a accidental bonus Between the Games about the June 2024 Nintendo Direct with Grace, who's subbing in for Jess for a couple months while Jess is on vacation. So enjoy this. Go check out Grace's stuff. All that is in the show notes below. She's got a really good podcast called In God's Name, an Unseen Cult. It's very great. And yeah, go check that out. So if this episode feels a little weird and like it's an intermission, it's because it is. All right. Welcome to the special Nintendo Direct June 2024 intermission, because we have some things we can discuss a little bit, but there was a Nintendo Direct this morning, and there was some I would say about 4 big announcements that everyone can like appreciate, and then some smaller things that like I think hit a good audience. My rule of thumb for a Nintendo Direct is like, if you got one thing out of it that you're excited about, it's a successful event, because like how much more can you ask for, right? Like one game.
Yeah.
There's so many games out there, and at least one of them is going to get you excited. So did you ever play Paper Mario?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
And then did you play the Mario and Luigi like RPG games on the Game Boy Advance?
I played Luigi's Mansion. Oh, no.
Okay.
Nope.
So there's 2 like diverting paths basically when it comes to the Mario RPG games. There's the Paper Mario one and the Mario and Luigi one. There hasn't been a Mario and Luigi game in 9 years, and they announced a new one just completely out of the blue as the first thing. It looks pretty good. It's called Mario and Luigi Brothership, and like it's all about sailing a ship around different islands and solving stuff, and it looks pretty good. Like I played these games. Cute. Yeah. Some of these games have been like more serious RPGs, difficulty wise, than like the Paper Mario ones, which have been more of an adventure with like turn-based like mechanics and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that they brought these back, because yeah, it's been 9 years, and you kind of like, everyone thought that this series was just dead. Like the original, like second party or first party developer for these games like closed, and people didn't think there was ever going to be another one. So it's cool that this one's here. I'm not going to go into it too much. I'm excited for it. I don't know if I'll play it. It comes out around my birthday, which is cool, but I don't know if I'll play it right away. They added a cool they added a Nintendo World Championship like edition game. I don't know if you know anything about the Nintendo World Championship. This is a real thing. No, it's fine. This is a real thing that used to happen when we were like very young. People would play games and try to beat like specific goals in those games as quickly as possible. And basically there are these custom cartridges that like you'd put them in, and you'd be at this event, and you'd put the cartridge in, and it would be like, okay, you have to get a mushroom in this Mario level as quickly as possible. You do that. Bam. Cool. It kicks you to the next thing, which is like, okay, do this lap in Excite Bike as fast as possible. Cool. You did it. Boom. Okay. Get to this floor in this dungeon in Zelda as quickly as possible. Boom. You did it. And like, it's like a speed run thing before like speed running was like an actual thing. And now they came out with an NES edition like game of that, and it looks pretty cool, because you can like play against your friends and see who can do the best on these like old school NES games. So it's pretty interesting.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool.
If it's full price, if it's like a $60 game, like I'm out. Yeah. But like if it's like $30, I'm like, yeah, I'd probably pick this up for like a party or something.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah. Let's see. They announced a Fairy Tail 2 game, which is an anime, and I was like, I didn't know there was a Fairy Tail 1 game, if I'm completely honest.
Did you look up anything about the first game?
No.
When did that come out?
The game looks fine. Like, it's an actual RPG, which is cool. Like, instead of like typically when these anime games come out, it's just like button mash. Just no, it's like you just beat the shit out of people, right? And I was like, oh, this is an actual turn-based RPG. That's actually cool.
It is cool.
But the game itself on the Switch looked bad, and I was like, that's crazy. Because like most of the games that were on, like showcased looked good in this, except for like one other game.
The original one came out in 2020. I'm seeing.
Oh, that's pretty recent then. Okay.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. Good for them.
The graphics do not look great.
Yeah, and they still don't, which is not great. Because like I feel like anime games translate really well to the Switch. Like typically you just cell shade the shit out of the characters and they look good and it's fine. So yeah. I don't get it. This is kind of, I think I'm just gonna go through the whole list now because I'm just doing that. No, it's fine. Like I think it's just kind of going pretty well. This game called Fantasian came out on the on Apple Arcade way back in the, like, it was like one of the early Apple Arcade games, which if you don't know what Apple Arcade is, it's a subscription service that you can play games on your you get these games for free on Apple, and it's pretty good. Like I've played a lot of really good games through it. I don't pay for it myself. I'm just a part of a family plan, luckily. And I've gotten a lot of, like, I might consider like every once in a while subscribing to Apple Arcade to play certain games because there are certain games that are that good. This is apparently a very good game. I've never played it, but it suffered from the fact that it came out in 2 parts and it was like months apart from each other. And the second part had like a huge difficulty spike. So people forgot how to play the game. And then they were like, here's the hard shit. So putting it all together in one like coherent game that's one playthrough should be better for it. And I'm hoping that it this image that I'm looking at finally makes the character actually look like, I've always been confused because the image they use of the character, let me see if I can find a picture of it. He looks like the most generic, I'm gonna send it in the chat. He looks like the most generic, like, it's a he, which is confusing because I always thought it was a girl because it looks like 2B from Nier Automata. So I was like, this is not a great look for him because it looks very generic. But this is the image I was looking at just now. And this art style, like, it's probably a little blurry, but this art style looks like so much better. Like, it's just like, it's drawn. It looks cool. It grabs your attention a little bit more. And it's like, why did they use this like generic ass photo of him before? Regardless, I hope this game takes off. It's made by Sakaguchi, who is like the creator of Final Fantasy. So like, it's a good game. It has really cool mechanics where it's a turn-based RPG, but you can actually angle your attacks to hit multiple targets, which is kind of cool. So you can kind of like strategize a little bit, which is neat. So I was like, okay, cool. I might check that out. I am going to take full credit for this game, this next update, because I recently, like not even like 3 weeks ago, mentioned that I was annoyed as hell that Nintendo Switch Sports didn't have basketball, and that is apparently coming later this year. So
that was all you.
That was all me. They heard me. They bugged.
They heard you.
No, Nintendo Switch Sports is like one of the most disappointing games ever. At launch, it came out with just badminton, bowling, soccer, which is like a terrible, like, it's awful. And then I think normal tennis as well. Okay. And then volleyball. No
boxing?
Volleyball. No boxing. Oh, they had the sword fight game. Okay. And that was it. And if you notice, 3 of those are basically the same exact game. Volleyball, tennis, and badminton all play exactly the same. And when the game came out, they were like, golf is coming later. And we're like, why didn't you just wait until golf was ready to launch this game? And now it's been years. And now they're like, here's basketball. Like, that's it? You're just adding basketball? It's so...
Wait, did they ever get golf?
Yeah, they got golf. We got golf.
Okay, golf did
like
come out.
6 months after the game came out. And I was like, guys.
It's not like we were in like a huge hurry to get another sports game for the Switch. They could have just waited.
But this is the only Nintendo like official sports game.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be the successor to like the Wii Sports games,
Right.
but like they're nowhere near as good. They just aren't. A game called Mio Memories in Orbit. That's what Mio stands for. I'm just now putting together. Looks pretty cool. It seems like probably like a Metroidvania platformer. My dogs are fighting now, so if you hear that. But seems pretty cool. Art style looks beautiful. That's great. They just came and checked at the door. They just like looked at me and they're like, "Can we do that?" Have you seen?
Tell them I said hi.
Oh, Grace says hi, dogs. They walked
Thank
out
you.
of the room.
Oh.
Did you ever hear of the Disney Illusion Island game?
No.
Okay.
Tell me about it.
It's a platforming Metroidvania with like no combat. So it's very family friendly. You can play as Donald, Mickey, Minnie, or Goofy, and they all kind of have like, they all play exactly the same, except they have all different, like their powers have like different flavor to them basically.
Okay.
So like, I think Goofy's double jump is he like squeezes a giant bottle of ketchup to like shoot himself up higher.
That's cute.
And it's getting like a little like mystery update for free, which is kind of cool. And I think this is like
we love a good mystery.
Right. And this is like a $30 game or $40 game, so it's not a full price game. So it's, pretty neat. This is what people have told you about. This update is the Hello Kitty Island Adventure game.
Oh, okay. That's exciting.
I'm going to send it to you right now. You can watch it. It's not super long. And you can kind of tell me.
If I open the internet right now, my browser's going to die.
Maybe open it on your phone.
Yeah.
Conditions are perfect to bake some memories with Hello Kitty. First, we need the right look. Tuxedo Sam always knows the latest trends.
Tuxedo Sam is one of my favorite Sanrio characters, so I love that he's like the fashionista one.
It makes sense. His name's Tuxedo.
Yeah, Tuxedo Sam. He was in the Navy. For the North Pole.
Okay. I know nothing about Hello Kitty, but I'm stoked about it.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
So this is basically Animal Crossing.
Correct.
But Sanrio.
Yeah.
Oh my god, and you could be a mermaid though. Okay. Come on. There's like some more adventure elements to this than just Animal Crossing.
Well, so in Animal Crossing's defense, they definitely used to have like New Horizons is lacking a lot of features of things that they've had in the past, but definitely none of the like actual like running around and doing adventures and stuff. So,
Yeah, because that's the only one I've played. The only Animal Crossing I played. This seems like you can there's like a
story.
lot of features. Yeah.
So
like
there was a couple times in there. I think I saw what's her face from that Netflix anime. Is she a Hello Kitty character?
What's her face from Netflix anime?
Yeah.
Tell me give me a screenshot of which one. Because I don't know what you're talking about.
What is Agrasuko?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's
a Sanrio character.
Okay. She's in there a couple times. I didn't realize that. I've only seen I haven't actually seen the anime. I just knew she was from an anime where she is a fucking death metal lead singer. Yeah, I just saw her and I was like, oh, I didn't realize that. So yeah, I love the whole Hello Kitty aesthetic.
Yeah.
It is number 2 most profitable IP in the world. So
yes, can I interject a personal story in
you
here?
can do whatever you want.
So in high school,
you're not just a guest; you're a host this time. You can do literally whatever you want.
Okay, perfect. In high school, I can't remember what class it was. I think it was like, oh my god, there was government, and then that you did half the semester, and then the other half the semester. Econ.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So in econ, our teacher was like, okay, you're going to learn about stocks. It was like, pick a stock. You're going to write down the value today. You have this many dollars, invest however many you think. And then, which I don't know why he did that. Cause it was just like, we were only allowed to pick one stock.
Yeah. That is weird. You can't
So,
diversify.
like,
The whole point of
no.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
You're like
so
SPY 500. It always goes up. Like,
I invested everything into Sanrio.
yeah.
And yeah, and he laughed at me. Okay. And then when it come time, like however many months later, and he was like, okay, check your stock thing again and see if you made any money. I got made fun of for investing all my money in Sanrio. And then come time to look later, I was one of the only students that made a profit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
when I found that out,
it's
I was
timeless.
like absolutely shook that Hello
Yes.
Kitty is worth that much money. I was like, holy
Of course
shit.
it is.
But you know
Of
what's
course it
number
is.
one? Pokemon.
Yeah, that's not surprising either.
No. They have literally everything.
Hello Kitty transcends every generation.
It's true.
Same with Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's
true.
like a universally beloved, and there's something for everyone, just like in Pokemon.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, and like
Yeah.
I didn't even know that anime was a Sanrio product, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's like a death metal singer, and then also like an egg. Like there's literally something
Is
for everyone.
Gudetama Sanrio?
Yeah.
That's-
Oh wait, no, it's not.
Okay.
Wait, is it?
He might be. I don't know if he would
Actually, I
be in
think it
Hello
is.
Kitty Island Adventure, but he might be a Sanrio.
No, he wouldn't.
Like,
I think
product.
he is. Gudetama.
He's so funny looking. I was there when like the
Yes, Gudetama is Sanrio. Okay.
I was
For a second,
at
I was like,
a
oh my God.
convention when I was back in my cosplay days. I was at a convention like the year that that they were like pushing Gudetama. Like he was on the like con lanyard. He was on the tickets. He was on everything. And I was like, who the
I
fuck?
love that for him.
Who is this egg? Like, what is this?
It was an embracing like rest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what we need.
It is good.
That's the kind of messaging we need in this capitalist society.
I agree. Yeah, just kind of messed up to think about that it's like a Japanese product and they're talking about rest and it's like crunch culture over there is like crazy.
Oh yeah.
So it's like
it is crazy.
It's a little messed up.
They still get more vacation time than we do.
Yeah. Okay, next up on another childhood thing. It's Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports and it looks terrible. Yeah, like the idea is fine, but then like the graphics look bad and it just looks like it looks like something that would have came out on like the Wii. Like it's whatever.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. Did you ever play Among Us?
No.
Okay.
I
It got an
didn't.
update. It seems kind of interesting. One of the things that I think it's Intersloth, I think is the company. I want to make sure I'm right. Which is only, Innersloth. And there's only 3 people from when the game started. Among Us, if you don't know, is basically, if you've ever played Werewolf or Mafia or something like that, it's basically that, except like interactive and you get to like be a character and move around and do tasks and stuff. So it's pretty fun. It blew up during 2020 when no one was able to talk to people in person. So, you got to play a game for basically it's like free on phones and $5 on Steam. Over time, they've like added these updates that used to be mods to like assign new roles to like complicate the game a little bit more. So got a couple free updates. Pretty cool. A turn-based game called Farmagia, which looks like it's from the creators of Fairy Tail because all the characters look like they're from Fairy Tail. It looks like a pretty non-offensive JRPG. Not much to say there, really. I was definitely making breakfast while I was watching some of this, so some of these I didn't pay attention to, and that was one of them. I just remember being like, that looks like Natsu from Fairy Tail, so I'm very confused. But the artist for Fairy Tail notoriously like just draws the same main character for every single thing. I think there's an anime called Eden's End where Happy is just in it. except
just in it.
he's just, instead of a blue cat that can fly, he's a blue cat that is actually a robot, and that's it. That's the only difference. Character's literally
Perfect.
name is Happy.
I love that. Copy paste.
Yep. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Donkey Kong Country Returns is a game from the Wii. It's getting a remaster. Not much else to say there. Those are pretty good games. This was a big deal for a lot of people. I'm not a big fan of Dragon Quest. I want to be, because R.I.P. Akira Toriyama, who did all the art for Dragon Quest. They are getting so these are very fun. They're called HD 2D remakes, which basically means they up-resed the sprite art and made it look a little cleaner, but it's still sprite art, and then everything around it is in like a cool stylized HD. They did this for I forget what other ones, but they've done it for a lot of Square Enix RPGs, and so they're doing it for Dragon Quest 3 and 1 and 2 in the future. Okay. So pretty cool. Yeah, coming to the Switch.
That is cool.
Yeah, moving games forward for game preservation, I think, is always a good idea.
Me too.
This game is a game that should have come out probably, I would say, 8 years ago. It's called Funko Fusion, and it is a Funko Pop game using like over 80 characters or something like that. So like on this thumbnail, we got Freddy Fazbear, we got we got He-Man, we got Owen Grady from Jurassic World, we got Ramona Flowers, we got Invincible. Looks like we've got Marty McFly, Shaun from Shaun of the Dead. Yeah, a lot of characters in there, and it looks like they're just doing, like, you're just going through different sets of different movies or shows or stuff. And I'm like, this definitely should have came out when Funko Pops were, they're still huge for sure. Oh, I'm seeing now in the background, it's got like Xena, Jaws, The Thing, Scott Pilgrim, Voltron, like all the Mummy. Like, yeah, it's definitely strange. Like, this should have happened a long time ago when like people actually cared, because now I'm like, I want to get rid of all of my Funkos except for like a couple.
Yeah, I think that it was like a cool collectible for like a little bit, and now I think the time has passed.
Yeah. It's definitely a weird thing. Like, they're like filling up landfills with these things because they can't sell certain ones.
Oof.
I think Funkos are cool when it was like a niche thing, when it's like, this is the only product, like there's the only merch of like this weird thing that I like, right? Like, but yeah, now it's just like oversaturation. Good news for you. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is coming to the Switch in June.
I saw that.
End of June.
I am excited.
Yeah. We knew about this. I think this kind of just gave us a date, closer date, saying like, hey, it's coming out. So you'll have to keep me updated on that if it's any good. I never played that one. That was on the DS.
Yeah. I never played that either. The only Luigi's Mansion I played is 3, and it's like, it just skyrocketed to the top of my list because I love it.
It's going to be pretty hard to go back to those other games, I think, then, just because control-wise.
Oh, no. Okay.
The HD one might be better. Okay, so there's this game. I'm just going to send you the thumbnail because I don't want to describe anything else. It's called The New Dempa Man.
What?
Yeah. They were talking about this game like it existed before, and like we should know what this is. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck this is. And what? So I'm just going to read verbatim the Polygon thing. The new Dempa Man looks like a weird version of Animal Crossing with mini games. It's coming July 27th on Nintendo Switch. That's all that a professional video game journalist could write about this game. I have no idea what the fuck this game is about. And
it's a wild card.
Yeah, so I'm just going to move on because it just looks fucking weird.
And if any of you know, send us a message.
Yeah, let us know, because it might be a gem, right? So
maybe it's like a cult classic that we just don't know about.
Maybe. When did the first one come out? This is a terrifying title. The first game is called The Dempa Men. They Came by Wave.
Oh my God.
That sounds like a horror movie. Like They Came by Wave.
That is so scary.
And it came out in 2012. So it has been 12 years.
You know what that kind of sounds like is, you remember the first episode of SpongeBob where the nematodes come on a bus and just like, yeah, that's kind of the vibes.
So they came out with this one. It's a 3D augmented reality video game. So that makes sense on the 3DS or the, but yeah, they came out with another one like a year later after the first one. So it's been like 10 years since this, but we're not going to talk about that. Like that just sounded like a horror movie. They Came by Wave. This next game I was caught off guard by because, do you know Metal Slug, the video game? It's an arcade game.
No.
It's like side scrolling shooties. It was like in every pizza place. So it is one of my favorite franchises like ever, just because of nostalgia. Like I used to play it. It was a tried and true, like you went to a place that had arcade machines, Metal Slug was going to be there, whether it was 1, 2, 3, 5 or X or whatever, one of them was going to be there. You're going to have a good time. You're just going to spend like all of your quarters to get through like the first level. Very hard game, very fun. I think like two or 3 years ago, they like announced that there was going to be a like a tactical game, like kind of like Fire Emblem, except with these characters. And I was like, sick. That sounds great. No word on that. But this Metal Slug Attack Reloaded game was announced, and it comes out on Tuesday. And I'm obviously not going to play it for reasons we'll get into anytime soon. I'm not going to play it, but it's a turn-based card RPG, which I love card games. I'm still like not an avid Magic the Gathering player, but I like, it's ingrained in my brain. I love card games in general, and it doesn't seem like it's a roguelite where like you die and you start over, you pick a new deck, whatever. It just seems like you build a deck and like you try to beat bosses, which is kind of cool. It seems like Mega Man Battle Network, if anybody knows those games. So kind of cool little. It seems like like a very simple game because it seems like they use the old school graphics to just, that's it. Like it's nothing like crazy. Which is why I feel like it came out of nowhere while we're waiting for the Metal Slug Tactics game. Next up is a game that came out last year everywhere else, or at least on Steam, called Darkest Dungeon 2. It's a roguelike role-playing game. Comes out on July 15th. Not much to say about that. I have no experience with it. I've heard mixed reviews. Next up was very funny. It was the Nintendo Switch Online, like the bonus games you get for having a Nintendo Switch Online account.
Yeah.
They gave an update on that with 2 Game Boy Advance games, the remake of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past plus Four Swords Adventure is coming, which is cool because the Four Swords Adventure game used to be a game that you could only play like with link cables, and each of you controlled a different colored link and like did stuff. Now it seems like you'll be able to do that online with friends, which is like really cool because there was no other way to play that game. And then Metroid Zero Mission, which is a remake of the original Metroid game from the NES, which is like rough to play. And I've played Metroid Zero Mission like when it came out. Very good game. So that's probably the way to play it. What was really funny was they put up this logo, which was the N64 controller, and it said Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack mature 17 plus came up, and I was like, what the fuck is this gonna be?
Yeah, what?
And I don't know if you know like Nintendo 64 games like super deep or anything like that, but there's a game that I think everyone that was watching this live thought it was going to be that they were going to announce, which was Conker's Bad Fur Day, which is a game by Rare, who made Banjo-Kazooie and like the James Bond games. And Conker's Bad Fur Day is like a very irreverent, infamous game for like, there's literally one of the boss fights is against the Great Mighty Pooh. And he literally like sings a song about throwing shit, and like says that like, I'm going to throw my shit at you and like stuff like that. And this was on the N64. So like for sure thought that was going to be, it's like a cult classic kind of thing. But that wasn't it. They announced Perfect Dark, which is also a game by Rare, which is also getting a new game on the Xbox pretty soon in the next couple of years or year or so. Which was like, from what I've heard, I never played Perfect Dark, but it's like the evolution of the James Bond games, because they lost the license, so they made their own IP, and I've heard it's like much better. It's like a futuristic like spy shooter game, which is kind of cool. The other one was Turok Dinosaur Hunter, which is yeah.
Shut up.
You know Turok?
That's exciting. I do know Turok.
Okay.
I don't know how I know Turok. You know what? I do know how. My brothers had Turok.
Okay. Yeah, Turok's pretty good. It's pretty solid.
Yeah.
So it's kind of exciting.
That is exciting.
So if you have the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack to have the N64 collection, you'll have access to Turok.
Perfect.
And I think that is that today? I think that's it's either coming or it's already on there. I don't know which one, but keep an eye out for that. Next up is Phantom Brave: The Lost Hero, which I don't really know too much about the game, but the art style looks very cute. As per this, the way this is going, I'm just going to send you a picture so we don't have to watch the whole thing, because I don't really know like my thoughts about it, and I don't have time right now to like think of it. But I do remember thinking, wow, this character, the art is very cute.
It is really cute.
Yeah. I do remember. Okay, I am remembering a little bit. Basically, that green-haired character is the main character, and she can. What's disappointing is the in-game is like chibi style, which I'm fine. It's fine, but like this art style is so cute that like shrinking it down to like chibi is kind of a disservice. But basically, she can get these heroes and like use them to control objects, and like based on the hero, like she can control a barrel, and like based on the hero, the barrel does different things kind of thing, which is kind of cool. And she can also like fuse like Magic Girl style with the heroes and like get their outfits and shit, which is kind of cool. So I was like, I do remember it piquing my interest a little bit. So I'm going to keep, it's not until 2025. So like we'll find out more down the road.
Sure.
Grace, do you like fighting games?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not good at them, but I like them. I'm a big button masher, but
then I have a good game for you, because the Marvel vs. Capcom fighting game collection is coming to the Switch.
That's exciting.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, it's got Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which is like one of the most legendary fighting games ever. The original like that spawned this, which was like Street Fighter versus X-Men or Marvel or something like that. And then there's also randomly a Punisher like beat 'em up in there, and I'm like, cool, whatever, that sounds cool.
Fantastic.
But yeah, I was like, sick. Apparently, like I didn't know this, but there was like no way of playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on like any current hardware. You had to like play it on classic hardware or like an emulator, which is like, that's crazy that it's now finally available.
Yeah, that I didn't realize that either.
Yeah. So this one I will send you, because I think you're a fan of these games, so you can watch these.
I do love Super Mario Party.
Yeah. So Super Mario Party Jamboree came out, or not came out. It was announced for October 17th. So it's pretty loaded, like Q4 of the year for Nintendo with a lot of these games coming out. Worth noting that it seems to be the Super Mario Party controls are back, which, if you didn't know, from Mario Party Superstars, which was the last Mario Party game where it went back to like traditional controls where you could use like an actual controller, Super Mario Party only allows one Joy-Con. So that's a little different, and it uses like motion controls and stuff. I didn't really have an issue with it. I actually liked that game. It was just kind of boring because there was only 4 stages, and then this one it seems like we get 7, I think, maybe
That's
6.
exciting.
Yeah. But
yeah.
You can watch it and feel free to react as needed.
Yeah, I'm watching right now. I am obsessed with this shopping mall level.
Yes.
That looks so fun.
That was definitely the one that caught my attention the most too.
Yeah. I was thinking about it and it's like, man, what a bummer that like shopping malls, that culture is like totally
so
dead.
Gone. It's still
It's so
like
gone.
kind of a thing here in Arizona because it's like an air conditioned place, but yeah.
Sure.
Unless you are a like outdoor fancy mall, like there's not really there's no mall lifestyle in most places anymore.
Yeah. Oof. Mario's Rainbow Castle looks adorable.
Yeah. I think this game will be pretty good.
Yeah.
Some of the items and stuff that they're talking about, like there's the turbo dice that allows, if you get a perfect roll, you can move 40 fucking spaces, is absolutely insane. Like
I love that.
yeah. Yeah, the levels seem pretty cool. Two are coming back that are like rehashes from Mario Party 1 and 2. But one thing I was like, this could have just been DLC for the original Super Mario Party, you know what I mean? Like that would have been nice to just be like, here's $40, here's like 5 new stages and all these games and stuff. But it is what it is. It's been a long enough time.
It.
Yeah. We'll see.
I think it's been long
I don't know
for sure.
I don't know if I'll buy it right away because like I honestly really like the Mario Party Superstars. Like that's got all the stuff that I like really need. You know, it's got like Mario Party 1 through 4 basically. So we'll see about this.
Yeah.
People like I think I forget what the pattern is, but it's like, you know, there's like 2 good Mario parties and then like 2 terrible, and then a bunch of terrible ones for like 8 years or something like that. So,
I always like the Mario Party games, regardless of if they're bad or not. It's just, I love mini games, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, if you just play the mini games, I don't think anybody would ever complain about the Mario Party games. It's usually the boards and stuff. Like Super Mario Party only having 4, and one of them you have to unlock, and it's like, so you start the game and you only have 3 boards, and like you have to unlock a bunch of characters and all. It's very strange. It's like this is unfinished kind of thing. Okay, this was my biggest announcement for me, which was, and you have or have not watched the trailer, I forget, for The Legend of Zelda.
I have watched
Echoes of Wisdom. Yeah, so Zelda you're going to play as Zelda finally for the first time since a terrible game that was on a terrible console back in the 90s. Yeah, this looks like so good. They're like going back to your like favorite art style from a Zelda game, I would say, right?
Yes, 1000%.
The Link's Awakening style.
Yeah, it looks almost exactly like the Link's Awakening art.
Yeah. And I think I was talking with my buddy this morning about he was confused that they did this, and I was like, well, this is the exact same pattern that they did with Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild came out 2 years later, Link's Awakening came out, and then Tears of the Kingdom came out, and now a year and a half later this game comes out. So it's like a nice balance, because these games need to exist, because there's a whole different demographic that prefers these games versus the 3D like now like open world style Zelda games.
Yeah. I am the worst at open world. I need clear cut guidelines.
Yeah. And some people are like that. The paralysis of choice is a big thing for sure. But basically, since you didn't watch the explanation of how this game works.
Yeah, I watched like the first 2 minutes of the trailer, and then as soon as the creator was on screen, I closed it.
Yeah. Eiji Aonuma, you know, he's just trying to sell you the game, and you're like, I'm already gonna buy it. Stop talking.
I'm already sold. I don't need to know anything else.
Basically, she gets a wand, and it's able to copy items. So the way it seems like it works is, what they showcase is she copies a table, and she's able to multiply that table a bunch, and she's able to like scale a wall or jump over like up onto a cliff. She's able to like copy enemies temporarily and use those to fight and like solve all these different puzzles and stuff like that. So it seems like literally I was telling my friend this morning, hi John, if you're listening. I don't think he ever listens because he asks me questions about things that I've said on this podcast, and I'm like, the answer was in the podcast. You're not listening, so it's okay. So I'm just gonna call him out right now. It's okay.
Way to go, John.
Yeah,
freaking idiot. No, I'm just kidding.
This whole time,
I'm just kidding.
This whole time, I'm talking about your husband.
Oh no, you could be.
No, I'm not. It seems like they're like trying to take some of the styling of Tears of the Kingdom and put it into like a 2D space, because if you saw anything about Tears of the Kingdom, it was like you could build your own shit and like copy your own stuff and do all this crazy stuff and basically like break the game in ways that like was completely up to you. And it seems like they're allowing you to do that in this, which is cool. So
that's cool. Like, so you can be creative.
Yeah.
Within clear-cut guidelines.
Within clear-cut guidelines. There are limits to where you can be. And it comes out September 26th. Like, this is a couple months away. This is like a day one. I'm buying this, like, and playing it right away. That's
so exciting.
So
I love
exciting.
this.
And depending on how it goes, maybe if I can beat this game quickly, we can do it on the show and have you back again.
Sure, maybe.
And then they also announced,
you guys have to finish Pokemon first.
I know.
Please.
Yeah. Yeah. The next time you're a guest, it has to be for Pokemon, which we'll talk about after we're done with the Nintendo Direct thing. Okay. But this is like the most classic Nintendo shit. After they announced this, they announced that there's a Switch Lite Hyrule edition, which is gorgeous. It's gold and black with the Hyrule logo on the back. Love it. And it comes out the same day. But like, this is the most Nintendo shit ever, because like there's a good chance that by the time this game comes out that they have announced that the Switch 2 is like going to come out next year, and like the Switch Lite will be obsolete by then. So it's like they're trying to sell this new console, like this new edition of a console, maybe like 6 months before their newest console like comes out. It's just like,
that is very classic Nintendo.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna stop updating the Switch Lite.
Yeah. Exactly. I love the Switch Lite. I think that the only issue I have with it, and the only thing that freaks me out about it, is the fact that if you get if you get stick drift, because there's no Joy-Cons, if you get stick drift on that, it's done, because you can't replace the sides, right? If my Joy-Con breaks on my Switch, I can buy a new Joy-Con, which sucks, but it's fixable. And that's it. But they announced Just Dance 2025 edition. One of these comes out every year. They sell a subscription service to get you all the songs. It's kind of crazy. I have a Just Dance, and whenever I want to use it, I'll pay the $10 for the month and get all of the games, and it's a party and great. One thing I did notice about this, and I don't know if this has been a normal thing, but they added eyes and mouths and noses to the dancers, which is weird, because it used to just be them like they were a silhouette wearing clothes, basically.
Right.
So it's a little uncomfortable, if I'm being honest, watching this.
Yeah, I don't love that.
I didn't like it at all.
Didn't seem necessary.
Yeah. Lego Horizons Adventures, Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West, they are games on the PlayStation. This was already announced back in the Summer Games Fest. I think it's coming to all consoles, so that's why it was already announced. But yeah, I don't really have much to say on this. I never played the Horizon games. I'm watching a Let's Play of one right now in the background while I do work during the day. I don't know. Lego games are pretty solid usually, so I'm sure it'll be fine. The game Stray is coming to the Switch, which is cool, but it's been out for like 2.5 years, I think, on other consoles, so it's not that big of a deal. Okay. You play as a cat. It's cute.
Oh, cute.
We're going to be playing a game about a cat for next month that I think is better, so we'll be good. I didn't watch a trailer for this at the time, but it's Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game. It's basically just Animal Crossing in the Shire, which is like, that seems like a good recipe. if you're a Lord of the Rings fan. But this was a game I heard that the graphics look pretty rough on the Switch. So we'll see about that. Are you a Lord of the Rings fan?
I am so not a Lord of the Rings fan.
Okay, I had a
so
feeling
sorry.
based on your like no reaction to that, so I was like, cool, we can just brush this over.
We'll just move on.
The Ace Attorney Investigations Collection was announced, which is basically, you know, the Ace Attorney games like Phoenix Wright and stuff?
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. These are games that follow his rival, Edgeworth is literally his name. But what's cool about this is one of these games never was officially translated and ever came to the West. So having one of those games that it's basically like a brand new game for English speakers, which is cool.
Yeah, that's exciting. Okay.
So that's cool. Yeah. Nothing more to say about that. This game, the title is The 100-Line Last Defense Academy. And just when the trailer started, I was like, this looks like a Danganronpa game. Which, do you know about Danganronpa? It's like the bear with one side's white, one side's black. It seems like your aesthetic, but it's like those games are like a murder mystery game where like you're trapped in a location and the only way to get out is to kill somebody and get away with it, but your character never does that, so you just try to solve the cases and get the person that did the killing kicked out and killed. They're pretty good. I've played all three of them. There's also like 2 spin-offs that I've never played, but I was like, this seems like that game. And then they're like, from the creators of Danganronpa. I was like, cool. At least I pegged the art style right away.
Yeah.
This seems like a mix of the Danganronpa games and a tower defense, which is like Plants vs. Zombies kind of thing where you like set up your shit and then stuff happens. I don't know. We'll see. This is such a title.
How many more games are there?
1, 2. That's
okay.
it. We're almost done. Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, this keeps going on. But I was like, it was only 20 minutes. How was there this many games? This game is called Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven. What a title. No idea. Some people are excited about it. Seems like a turn-based game that has some like Fire Emblem Three Houses vibes, which piques my interest because I love that game, which is a game I want you to play because you like Fire Emblem, and I think you would like the more romancy side of it in the Three Houses game because those.
I think I would like that.
Yeah, it's very fun. And then finally, shout outs to Cognitive Clips, Jordan. He is super stoked for this. Metroid Prime 4 finally like had gameplay and a title, which is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. And it's supposed to come out in 2025. So this game was announced back in 2018, I want to say. And it was the whole thing was restarted in 2019. Like they started from scratch. Like they worked on it for like a year or so and then started over.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I didn't think this game was going to exist anytime soon. So the fact that they're saying it's expected to release in 2025, I'm like, we'll see about that. But it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I've never played any of the Metroid Prime games, mostly because like I want to play the whole trilogy. And I think only the first one is on the Switch. But yeah, I'm excited for that. Shout outs to Jordan, like I said. Chris Nerdleys also is very excited about Turok. I wanted to shout out them because we were talking about that a little bit in the Discord. And then he's also excited for the he literally just posted today or like earlier that you can kill a pig with a rock because one of the things is you can just make a rock out of nowhere with Zelda and then throw the rock. And it seems like one of the main forms of combat. But yeah, he's excited for the Zelda game as well. What of those ones do you think you're most excited for? There seems like 3 that like really are speaking to you.
I'm stoked on the Mario Party Jamboree and then the Hello Kitty Island Adventure, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously, then the Zelda one. Yeah.
Okay.
I am obsessed with that art style. I loved Link's Awakening.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be so fun. And I like those kinds of games where you can be a little creative with it. Like, did you ever play Scribblenauts?
Oh yeah, I have it on my phone.
Yeah, I got
really
Scribblenauts for like the 3DS, and I had so much fun. And I figured out you could summon Cthulhu, and I just kept summoning Cthulhu through that whole game.
Most of that game can be beat by like just using a jetpack. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can be as creative as you want, which is nice.
You can do some random shit and like make it hard for yourself, which is fun.
Yeah. No, that I think that's definitely the game I'm most excited for. But this was definitely a very good direct.
Well, yeah.
But
sounds like there's a lot.
There is a lot. And this was like a shorter one, too. And most of these games will be coming out by the end of this year, which is what's crazy. Like that's the stuff that always like blows my mind. All right. So that was the extra bonus Nintendo Direct episode that we did. It was a fun time, and it was definitely a lot longer than most of our intermission, so I decided to pull a whole episode from that intermission. So if you guys enjoyed that, please tell a friend and share the episode around. And if you're new here and this is the first time you're listening, hi, welcome. Thank you for joining us, and maybe leave a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. It really helps the channel grow. And if you want to find us on social medias, we're Short Long Pod on basically everything. So go check us out there, and we'll see you guys next time.